Yes, this video is about using Excel to do time series analysis. It assumes that you are familiar with chapter 6 in your textbook about time series analysis, and you have read the chapter and you are familiar with the ideas in it, especially moving averages, exponential smoothing, linear trends, models with seasonality, with or without trends. So I have here, you can see I have copied one of the web files of the data, actually the same one used in the appendix in your textbook. So you can follow this with the appendix in your textbook, appendix in chapter 6. It's about sales, umbrella sales, and the web files are on Blackboard, so you can download that directly or from the course website. So if you want to make changes here, you want to enable editing on this. And now we're going to start with, so I'm going to follow the instructions in the textbook to show you how do we do. First thing we're going to do is moving average. So so we start by having the data. You can see the data. I have just the year listed, which year it is, quarterly data. These are the quarters, and these are my sales. And I want to use a moving average with averaging 3 periods each time, and move that to project my sales to find out my projection. So I go to data, go to data analysis here, and then I want to go to moving average. This is my moving average. Click OK, and the data already. So I click the data range that goes there. I just click on that, and it goes in there. So I want my output to be in this cell. I click on this one here and say, this should go in here. So let me start it over here, and that goes there. And then I want the interval to be 3, and click OK, and that's it. So that's how you do moving averages. If I want to do, say, exponential smoothing, that's my second one. I go to exponential smoothing here, click on it, double click, and if my alpha gain, let me clear these because I was just playing with it before the video. I usually don't see anything here. So I want the input range. I put my data there. I want the damping factor. So if my alpha is 0.2, my damping factor is 1 minus alpha would be 0.8 in this case. And then where I want my output to go, I want it to go in here, and that's it. And then click OK, and that gives me all the output. The other model I want to do is the linear trend, and there are 2 ways to do linear trend. One is following your textbook, which I'll do later, but first one is just you can go to data analysis and do simple regression analysis. So if I go and find out where regression is, because really to find the trend is basically to find the slope of the regression equation, and click OK, and your input range here, the Y in this case would be the sales gain. Your no, we cannot do that here because we don't have data. I need the periods 1, 2, 3, 4 for my X, so I can put that data here. So I would need to enter 1. Let me leave that. to leave this here and go say here 1 2. I have to cancel this, enter my, for the trend I need to have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 and 20. So now I got all the periods. Now I can go back to data analysis, regression, and yeah, I have my, first I want my data there to be my sales. That's my called Y or F in your textbook, and then I want in this also I want the input X, which is the, in this case just time, periods, and I can I don't need any of these in this here, but you can check residuals, you can do projections and so on. So I click on this and that gives me the output, and here I get my coefficients. The intercept is 121, that's my B0, and 0.17 is my B1, right? So another way of doing this another way of doing this is we will show you that different by using the line estimate feature, but we're going to do that with seasonality. Okay, or maybe let's do it here. So let's go now to, actually instead of there we go to formulas, click on fx, and then we want where we want our data to go. So we go and oops, click on, I want my numbers to go say here, so I need beta 1 and beta 0 to be here. Click on fx, I want to go down to statistical, so I click statistical here, I have it there already. I go to LINEST, this one here, click OK, and now I want to look at the known y's and then known x's. So in this case my known y's are the sales, so I click on the sales, and on the known x's, these are the gain 1 up to 20, and click OK, and see I got the first value here. So now I need to click on F2, so what I'm clicking here is F2, and then I want to click Control Shift. I just want to make sure I get this correct. It's Shift Control Enter. So I click on Shift Control Enter at the same time, and I get those two numbers again. This is my B1, and this is my B0, right? So using the regression you can test whether your slope, which is B0, is different from 0, and that really you can tell whether you have a trend or not. But this method only gives you an estimate of these two values. All right, the next model is the seasonality model. So I want to put the data in a different form. So I'm going to go in here. Where is it? This is my data now. It's the same data. I have the years and the quarters. I put sales at the end here. And to introduce seasonality, I need to introduce dummy variables, because I have season for 4 quarters. I have quarter 1, 2, and 3, And if you read the chapter, the material in the chapter, you already know that your model is going to be y, or f. Your text we use is like, and this is written, the model here is in backward, b4 times t plus b3 q3 b2 q2 b1 q1, where these are the dummy variables, and takes value 1 if you are in that particular quarter, and takes 0 otherwise. So when you to set up your data to use Excel, you have a variable, dummy variable q1. It takes value 1 when you are in quarter 1, and 0 otherwise, 1 when you are in quarter 1, 1, and so on, and the rest are zeros. Same thing for quarter 2. You have 1 when you are in quarter 2, 0 elsewhere, and the same thing for quarter 3. We don't need 1 for quarter 4, because if all these quarters are zeros, so when q1, q2, q1, q2, and q3 are zeros, that makes quarter 4 1. So we don't need to include that specifically in the model. Now I have the estimates here, but I'm going to repeat that and get those values here again and show you how you do that. So in this case, we go again to the f function. I click statistical and do the same thing we did before. We want the L. This is the L line est. Okay, and known y's, I want this one here. That would be all these values now known x's, and in this case I want all the data for quarter 1 here, quarter 2, quarter 3, and t. So I need that trend, the period 1, 2 up to 20. I have 20 periods of data. So I click on all of it, and it goes all in there, and I click OK, and the same thing. Now I hit F2, and then I want to hit Control Shift, or which order they should be, Shift Control Enter, Shift Control Enter. Again, that's Shift Control Enter, and you can see I got those estimates there. So if I want to find out now the sales volume, say for period 21 here, how do I do that? So I have to use those numbers, and this is my model. And again, remember, in your textbook the model is written as y equal b0 plus b1 q1 plus b2 q2, etc. But here is done backward because that's the way Excel works. So if I want for y21, then I want to get b4 t is 21, so that's 0.375 times 21. Then I want b3 times q3, but in this case q3 is 0 because period 21 would be quarter 1. So if I complete this one here for quarter 1, 2, 3, 4, so that would be 0. The same thing here, quarter 2 is 0, so that's 57 times 75 multiplied 0.75 multiplied by 0. My first quarter is 1, and so that's 30.125 times 1 plus b0, which is 90.5. And of course you can write that as an Excel function and obtain the value for any period 1, 2, 3, and so on, all the periods you want to project. I hope this is helpful, and thank you.